Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. Well, today is August the 29th, 2025. Oh my goodness, and you know what? It's Friday, and that means it's Friday Confab when I get to visit with all of you. Oh, I'm so excited and happy. This is like the best day of the week because I get to see you guys. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing great. I hope everything is going well in your world and that you are prosperous and in good health. That's what I wish for all of you. And for me too. That's pretty awesome. Oh, got your coffee, got your tea, got your Coca-Cola. Surprise! I've got a smoothie. Yes. I got a smoothie this morning. It is strawberry, banana. It's made from frozen fruit, and it's made with the rest of the yogurt homemade yogurt that I made. And it's got some milk. I had some milk a while back that I thought I better use this up because I bought it on sale. And so that's what's in this. And it's very, very good. Okay, now I have to tell you, I didn't make this morning. I made it, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks ago, probably about 3 weeks ago. And I had enough to have one that day, and then I had enough left for 2 more. And I divided it up from the blender and I put it in 2 smaller freezer bags. And this is the last one I froze. I froze 2 of them. And I'm going to tell you something, it works great. If you have smoothie ingredients, and I like smoothies, I don't like them every day, but I like them sometimes and they're refreshing. Just make a batch of smoothies and just get out your freezer bags. I used quart size freezer bags because it gives me lots of room. And I divided it up in the bags and laid them flat, marked them of course, laid them flat, and I could have a smoothie anytime I wanted to. They sell them like that. They do. They sell them like that. Why can't you make them yourself? So anyway, this is my last one, and it's pretty tasty. You like the top here? It's just a lid on a pint jar. I will show you. Excuse me, I gotta put my smoothie down. Did you like that visit with my Auntie Ava's bird? Oh, she's such a wonderful person. She said that she would come on the YouTube channel and that she would do a short for me and promote the channel. What a sweetheart. Okay, this is, I purchased this screw-on lid at Dollar General, and it's got a little rubber gasket there, and it came with a straw. Now, there was 2 in a package for $1 in the dollar aisle at Dollar General. So I bought these several years ago because I thought they would come in very handy. And I bought several packages and gave all but 2 lids away. And because I thought they would be awesome and very handy to have. So I've got the 2. You can check. I'm pretty sure they probably still have these in the dollar aisle. I haven't looked recently, but you certainly can. And see if you can pick some up for yourself. For $1, you can't go wrong. And what I like about them is it's got a little ring stop here. So it will stop your straw depending on the size of your jar. Now, here's the deal. Oh, and I just wash these by hand, by the way, because I think if I put them in the dishwasher, it might deteriorate that gasket, and I don't want to do that. And I hardly ever use my dishwasher, so okay. Now, this one is a pint jar, so you can see, pretty good. Pretty tasty, and it's just a regular mouth jar. This one is a quart jar, and what I like about it is the straw goes all the way down to the bottom of the jar, so you don't lose anything. You can just slurp it all up. And sometimes what I do, I take my Pure Kick energy drink or hydration drink powder, and I fill this up with my filtered water and use 2 of the powder packets and just stick this in the door of my fridge, and then periodically throughout the day I just grab it and take a few swigs, and it's tasty and it's easy to keep, and if I don't drink it all through the day, perfectly fine, and it stays nice and cold. So I had to show you that. Okay. So check it out if you're in the Dollar General. Check it out, or I think probably have them at Walmart. I'm sure. I don't know, but they might have. So check it out and see what you think. What are you guys up to today? Because I know you guys are up to something. This morning, before I got myself all ready for the day, I cleaned my microwave. Now, last night I warmed up some soup in the microwave, and I left it in a bit long, and it didn't really boil over, but it really I needed to do a cleanup there. And another thing, when I use my microwave quite a bit, and it gets dirty. Microwaves just get dirty, and depending what you're cooking in there, it can get a greasy film on it, or just a film on the inside of your microwave. So periodically you have to clean it. And I was thinking about that this morning. I thought I'm going to clean that out as soon as I can this morning, and I needed to mop my kitchen floor because, got critters, and the critters' food bowls are along the kitchen wall, and they're right in front of the baseboards, of course, and they're sloppy. Oh my gosh, it's like food going everywhere, and so it gets stuff on the baseboard there on the bottom of the wall, and that has to be cleaned off too. So that's part of mopping. So I got in the kitchen this morning. I got my microwave cleaned up, and I vacuumed the kitchen because critters, and I got my kitchen floor all mopped. And I think because I've got the cats and the doggy, it should last part of the day, but I can enjoy it for now, okay? But I want to show you, I want to share this with you. This is how I clean my microwave. I take a bowl, and this is a pretty good heavy-duty bowl. I fill it up halfway with water and vinegar, just white vinegar, and I pop it in the microwave, and I turn it on high and let it go for about 5 minutes. Now, before I do that, I take a folded paper towel and I wipe out the interior of the microwave all over. And the paper towel absorbs any grease or film, excuse me, film that might be on the walls of the microwave. So I do that first. Then I put this in with the vinegar solution and I let it go for about 5 minutes. Now then, at that point, it boils and it's steaming up the inside of the microwave with the vinegar solution. So I carefully, when that's done, I carefully take it out because it's going to be hot. And I set the bowl aside, and then I take another paper towel and I wipe out all of the inside. And I also remove the little glass revolving turntable there, and make sure that that's out too, because that's going to get washed. And then I wipe down the inside, and if it's not as good as I want it to be, I will put the bowl back in and I let it go for another 2 or 3 minutes, and then come back and wipe it down again. Now, because I've got a nice vinegar solution in there, I will take that same paper towel and I carefully, because it's hot, and I dip it in there, and then I go along the creases of the door of the microwave and inside of it, and I get all the edges, the creases and the corners and everything, and I make sure that it's all clean. Then of course I wash the little glass turntable. I wash that and put everything back, and with what is left of the vinegar solution, I use that to wipe off the outside of the microwave completely, front, back, all around. I move the microwave and make sure that I clean behind it and underneath where the microwave was sitting, just so that it's all cleaned up and nice and perfectly clean. Now, not only does the vinegar solution clean your microwave, it deodorizes it too, which is really nice, because you're putting a lot of stuff in there, and it needs to be deodorized too. So I like this better than using any spray or soap solution. I don't want anything perfumey in there, and plus this is just so much easier to work with. Now then, if you've got some vinegar solution left, which you probably will, you can pour it down your drain, and it will it cleanses the drain, and it also your kitchen sink, and it also is an odor deodorizer. Okay, so that's how I clean the microwave. So I did get that done this morning. I was pretty happy with myself, and I want to show you. This is what I use to clean, to mop my kitchen floor. I'll show you this first, because many years ago, I purchased this. It's a Pine Sol Squirt and Mop, cleans and deodorizes, no bucket required, and a multi-surface floor cleaner. Okay. So after I used up the product in this, I loved the method of mopping the floor that way so much that I kept this container, because it's got you pop it up and then you spray it, just squirt it on your floor, and then you press it down when you're done. And I like the slimness of it, so it fits nicely in my little cleaning caddy. Now then, that cost a whole lot more than this. So this is Pine Glow antibacterial kitchen and bathroom cleaner and disinfectant, kills 99% of bacteria and viruses. And up here it says, with a made in a USA label right here, it says kills the virus that causes COVID-19. Okay? All right, now, I picked this up quite a while ago, and it's not the first time I purchased it. I picked it up at Dollar General. It cost $1. This is in the dollar aisle. And it smells, and it's strong, just like this. Okay? So what I do is I I make my own solution. I take this, I put some of it in here, I add some water to it, and then that's what I use to mop my kitchen floor. This is $1. I'll let you take a look at that and you can see. Okay? All right. That's what I use. And I've been doing this for quite a long while. This has this same ingredients. So, I just wanted to give you that tip, that pointer, because it might come in handy. And honestly, I don't really think we need to spend a ton of money on cleaning products. So, and this is it's a multi-surface cleaner, wood, tile, linoleum. I use it. It's perfectly fine. I've never had any issues with it at all. Okay? Okay, I think that'll help you. What are you guys drinking today? Are you drinking a smoothie? You know, if you've got some frozen fruit, because sometimes fresh fruit just doesn't last that long. If you've got some frozen fruit, by all means, make this for your freezer, and you'll be glad you did. Really, you really will. So, oh, I gotta show you something. I had to take my wedding ring off and put it away because my ring finger was really hurting me, and the wedding ring, it fits fine. You can see the size of my finger. I've worn it for a very long time, but anyway, my knuckle was hurting so bad and it was swelling up. It's probably arthritis, and I thought, oh, I don't know, I might have a difficult time getting this ring off, and I didn't want it to come to the place where maybe it would have to be cut off or create problems. So I took it off and put it away in a safe place. So I'm hoping that at some point, you know, these things come and go. Maybe the pain will go away, and then I can wear my wedding ring again, and the swelling will go down. But my knuckle is swollen, and it feels bad. So I did take it off because, and of course, that means I can't wear my mother's ring either. So I don't know. I just figured, you know, I should be cautious about it. So that's what I did. It feels weird. It feels weird not to have it on my finger. I mean, it's such a tiny, lightweight thing, but when it's not on my finger, it's like a heavy, like it was heavy, and the heavy thing is gone. Does that sound right? It's like it weighed more, or I was conscious of it being there, and then to take it off and not have it, it's like I don't feel the weight of it, and it can't weigh hardly anything. I mean, it's a lot thinner too than it used to be, you know, because I wear it all the time. So, but anyway, it's put in a safe place, and so that made me feel kind of bummed. Not just because of the arthritis, but because of the fact that it prevents me from wearing my ring. But that's the way it goes sometimes. You know what I heard? This was interesting. I just heard this today. That in 1925, and of course now it's 2025, right? In 1925, $1 was the equivalent, had the purchasing power of the equivalent of $18 today in US. $1 was the equivalent of $18. And I looked it up, in the trades in 1925, in the unionized trades and industrial trades, a person was making $25 to $30 a week. So multiply that times 18. I guess that would be like having over $500 a week in pay. So, and then of course, they said that amount, when I looked it up, said that amount did not include the fact that women made less when they worked, and unskilled labor made less, of course, and other people in the rural areas, they made less money. These were in the industrialized areas. So I thought that was kind of interesting. So I guess if you're older, like me, if you're older like me, then you can remember a time when people made a lot less money. I vaguely remember hearing my parents talk. It was income tax time, and my dad was a welder, and my mother was a homemaker, and I can remember them talking about how they were so happy because that year when they were filing their taxes, that my dad made just over $10,000 that year, and it was a lot of money to them. And I remember something came up in school. It was a discussion about money, what people earn, what they make. Of course, this would have been 1964, probably about 64. And everybody was talking about it, and about, oh, my parents made this, blah, 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 and what they knew about income. And our teacher, who had a bachelor's degree, of course, to teach high school. He taught English, speech, composition, things like that. And he said $10,000 a year would seem very much would be like a fortune to him. And that he earned about $6,000 a year, $5,000 or $6,000 as a teacher's pay. And I was kind of fascinated about that, about how that actually worked. I know that my first job that wasn't babysitting when I was young was I just waitressed in a local cafe, and I made $1 an hour, and sometimes tips, but they weren't overly tippy back in those days. Yeah, it was $1 an hour. And it was over the summer, and I walked to work, and I walked home, and I walked everywhere in those days because we weren't given rides. This is what we always heard: you got 2 legs, don't you? Okay. So anyway, I walked to work and I walked home, and I made $1 an hour, and I was part-time. But I was excited because it was my very first job, which was awesome. What were you guys' first job? What was the first real job where you actually got a paycheck? what was your job when you were young? And did you like it? Were you excited about it? Were you disappointed when you got your paycheck and you realized they take out taxes? Were you all excited? Were you adding up how many hours you worked and how much pay you got? And then I babysat. I used to babysit for 50 cents an hour when I was young in school. I was babysitting when I was, I don't know, 12 years old. But but can't make much money that way. But hey, I could save and buy a new skirt for school, or I could buy a tube of lipstick or something, you know. It seemed important to have my own money, to have some money. So that was kind of exciting. Oh, speaking of exciting, I gotta tell you something. Next door to me, is up the street, but kind of next door, there is a house, and I've always called it, I refer to it as the hoarder house, because the people who lived there, they were living there when I moved here 10 years ago, and they never took care of their house. It was just a wreck. And they hardly mowed the grass. That was once in a while they would mow the grass. They let their bushes and trees all grow up, and just they never trimmed anything or never took care of anything. The garage door was broken and falling, kind of like hanging wonky, and the window on the back side of the garage was broken out, and I think it was like it became a meeting place for cats. Not Mikey, because you know he's perfect. And it was full. Everything was full. They had, their yard was full. You could tell their house was full. It was just sad. And they had good jobs, and he had a fancy dancy motorcycle that he liked to ride on, and I don't know how he rode on it, because he said he had a bad back and he couldn't do much because his back was hurting, but he would take off on his motorcycle with his backpack on. Just saying. Anyway, they just did not, their kids had come home to visit, but they never did anything. Nobody did anything. It was just sad. And I think at one time the house, it's not a huge house, but I think it was really cute at one time. That was probably built in the 40s. Anyway, when I would go outside with my little dog, and or open the curtains, I would look over there and feel sad, because it was so uncared for. And then eventually I found out that their house was foreclosed on, and they lost their house, so they had to move. And then the house went up for sale, and they did come in and try to secure the house as best they could, boarded up windows and doors and things like that. But it was in bad shape. So every day I would look out and I would say, Lord, please send somebody to buy that house and take care of it. Maybe fix it up so someone can live in that house and have a home. And because the yard was good size, bigger than my yard, and it had a cute little, what had been a cute front porch on it, and on one side of the house there was this It was like a bay window. It was a small house, but I thought, I bet it's just the outside. It had some cute features. So I just said, well, Lord, would you, I just pray. Whenever I look over there and say, Lord, please send somebody who would take care of that house and fix it up. And so it's not an eyesore anymore. And so somebody can have a good home to live in. Well, lo and behold, the beginning of the week, there was a tap on my front door. And I'd seen a little bit of like a truck or two in and out of there, but I didn't know. The for sale sign was still out there. So there was a little tap on my door, and this older man was at the door, and he told me his name, and he said, I just wanted you to know that I'm going to be tearing out all those trees and those bushes that are out of control. And the trees had grown up. Sadie, my Sadie, the trees had grown up and was in her. I thought they're going to pull those wires down because that's how out of control everything was. I was very worried. Plus there was a sidewalk at the end of their yard, and you couldn't tell there was a sidewalk. So he said, I'm so-and-so, and I bought the house, and we're gonna be there this week pulling up, getting rid of all that overgrowth and everything. He said everything's gonna go. And he told me that he was gonna gut the house, and he said eventually we're gonna put a chain link fence around it. He said it'll be really, really nice. And he said, I just want you to know that we'll be working over there, and and because those bushes and trees had gone over on my property and was very difficult to keep mowed there. So anyway, I was so glad. I just felt like that was an answer to prayer, that he was going to do that, and I'm so glad. I think it could be a very cute place and give somebody a nice place to live. So, and he's got another guy over there working with him, and oh my goodness, he brought his tractor and everything, and they are cleaning that up, and it looks better all the time, that with all of those out of control bushes and trees out of there. Now, something I noticed, and I noticed this occasionally in my life, when somebody in a neighborhood starts sprucing up their house or fixing a house, making it look nice, I think it encourages other people to get out in the neighborhood and maybe take care of something that they've been putting off. So I saw a fella across the road. He was out there pulling there were some weeds that had got out of control, and it was just didn't look good. And he was out there the other day pulling those up, and because sometimes they will neglect their yard, but quite a few people live there, and people are back and forth and working and all of that too. So anyway, he got out there and he did that, and I looked out this morning and I thought, wow, that looks really good. And so it was encouraging to me, and I just want to say, don't give up. If there's something that is that you see that is a need, and maybe it's irritating you, because this is where I live, and I would look over there and I just I thought, you know what, I'm not going to feel angry about that. I don't know what the reasoning is for all of that. I'm just going to ask the Lord to do something to get that property sold and put somebody there that's going to take care of it and care for that home and make a nice home for somebody. So, and there was a knock at my door, and there he was. So, because we're just caretakers here anyway. We're just caretakers. We buy things, we sell things, we say we own things, but in reality, we're just caretakers of what we have. And eventually, we're going to be gone, or it's not going to be ours anymore, and somebody else will have it. So, but I'm so grateful to the Lord for answering that prayer. But every day, please send somebody who will take care of that home and fix it up so that it's be a nice home for somebody to live in. And I'm, bless God, somebody is. So that is awesome. I just wanted to share that with you guys, okay? Okay, that's it for me today. As always, you know that little is much when God is in it, okay? All right. Make sure you meet me in the comments. I want to know what you're doing. I like to know what you're up to. Is there anything exciting going on? Or maybe you just, I don't know, maybe you just need somebody to say a little prayer for you. Put that in there too, because we can do it. Okay? All right. I love you guys. And I will talk to you later. Bye.